Neko Ghost Jump is a frustratingly difficult precision platformer. Don't be fooled by the cutesy exterior. This game is a heartless monster that wants nothing more than to suck the joy out of your life. Now, if you're somebody who likes that kind of thing, this game is exactly what the doctor ordered. The game starts with a kind of long but very well done cutscene telling you the premise of the game. Long story short, puppy pirates riding a pirate ship through a wormhole in outer space have come to your planet to abduct some of your citizens and use cannons to blow up some of the rest. Some weird space magic happens and now the puppies are struggling to make their getaway, allowing you the chance to try and catch up to their anchor on the ground so you can save the day. Like most platformers, the first thing you are introduced to is the fact that you can jump. Holding down the jump button allows you to jump higher. Next, you are shown that you have a dash mechanic that allows you to jump across long gaps you wouldn't be able to otherwise. The thing about this is, in order to jump as far as possible, you have to hit the dash button almost instantly after you hit the jump button. I didn't realize just how important this timing was and died 10 times on the first level to the same jump. Thankfully, the levels in this game are short, but it was still very frustrating. This game is packaged like it was made for very young kids with all the cutesy kittens and puppies, but it's far too difficult of a game for a small child to enjoy. They probably wouldn't get past the first level. Or maybe I was just bad at games as a kid. I'm definitely bad at them now. Shroud, I am not. Just when you start to feel comfortable with the jumping mechanic, the game introduces something new. The ability to switch between 2D and 3D. This is where the puzzle aspect of the game comes into play. You'll have to be aware of your surroundings and switch back and forth between 2D and 3D in order to progress through the level. It's a fun concept and very well executed. In fact, the game in general feels very well polished and controls nicely. It just has a brutal difficulty curve from what appears to be a children's game. I did a speed run of Grime about a week ago, and that was a far less frustrating experience than playing this. The final mechanic shown to us in the demo is the ability to literally die and carry on as your ghost, hence the name Neko Ghost Jump. The reason you do this is because your ghost has a weapon it can use to defeat enemies that you don't have while alive. You can freely switch from life to death with no penalty other than the fact that your corpse stays in the ground, and when you come back to life, you get brought back to wherever your corpse was. This means if you rush through a level as your ghost clearing enemies, you'll have to run through it all again a second time once you come back to life and get teleported back to your corpse. So the core gameplay loop is platforming through a level, using the dash mechanic to help you make longer jumps, switching between 2D and 3D to navigate your way through simple mini puzzles, while also switching back and forth from ghost form in order to clear enemies. Once you get past the initial shock of such an innocent looking game holding a sadistic demon inside of it, you start to realize there's a certain satisfaction to getting good at it. And to further accentuate that, there is a strong speedrunning aspect built into the game itself. Every level has a timer showing how long it has taken you so far, as well as a leaderboard at the end of the level showing you how well you did in comparison to everyone else who has played so far. I thought I played poorly and took forever to beat the boss on the 5th level, but I actually scored higher on the leaderboard for that level than I did for most other levels, which was a nice feeling. And speaking of the boss, guess what mechanic didn't get explained in the tutorial? The fact that your ghost form has hit points connected to your living form. While I was fighting the boss and jumping over his rolling spike logs or whatever they were, I kept taking damage for what I thought was no reason. I assumed maybe there was a timer and I just slowly took damage while I was in ghost form while fighting the boss. Nope. Turns out the logs I was jumping over were just rolling over my corpse off screen in a slow rhythmic fashion. Eventually I figured this out and would switch to living form to jump over the logs and back to ghost form to fight the giant flowers that damaged the boss when they died. The next phase of the boss was also a frustrating experience. It was obvious that I had to switch back and forth between 2D and 3D to platform my way up to him to be able to reach him in order to attack, but every time I tried he would use his breath to blow me away, forcing me to start all over. It was not fun figuring it out, but eventually I figured out I just needed to get up to him as quickly as possible and get a few quick hits in before he blew me back down. Oh, he also spit damaging projectiles the rest of the time that I had to dodge while doing the platforming, and if I died, which I did many times, I had to start the level all over again. The third and final phase was the simplest and the easiest. I happened to be in 2D when it started and didn't even think to try using 3D for it. I just brute forced my way through it, attacking the enemies that came out as quickly as I could, and then quickly taking the boss out like he was nothing once I reached him. I was glad to have the fight over with and wasn't bothered by the fact that the last phase was easier than the first two. Defeating the flower boss was the end of the demo and the end of my Neko Ghost Jump experience. I can see speedrunners enjoying this game, but I don't think it's really intended for casual gamers. So if you like to go fast and enjoy a bit of a challenge, give it a try. There's a link to the demo in the description. But if you're a casual gamer who likes easy games, you might want to give this one a pass. Or maybe not. The demo's free. Give it a try and then come back and tell me what you thought. Maybe the game's not hard and I'm just bad at video games. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked that, please subscribe and check out some of my other stuff.